Ricky Gervais genuinely despises Ellen, and he is not staying quiet about it anymore. What he is revealing about Ellen should worry everybody, mostly because it appears to back up numerous rumors that have been spreading around. One household has even stated that Ellen attempted to take their kids away. So, what exactly did Ricky reveal? How did Ellen respond to it? And is Ricky Gervais at risk? Well, we at FameX are going to cover all of that and beyond in this video. For years, Ellen DeGeneres was the undisputed ruler of daytime television. Her face appeared everywhere. Her motto was straightforward: be kind. Millions of watchers trusted it. Hollywood's biggest celebrities rushed to feature on her program, and it seemed like nothing could ever harm the reputation she had spent decades constructing. Then everything collapsed.
Ellen DeGeneres' show is facing new allegations this morning of rampant sexual misconduct and harassment in the workplace.
Suddenly, stories began flooding out from behind closed doors. Previous workers accused the program of maintaining a poisonous work environment. There were accusations of bullying, poor treatment, prejudice, and inappropriate behavior. The cheerful reputation that made Ellen celebrated began crumbling almost instantly. Now, comedian Ricky Gervais is putting forward even more shocking statements. According to Ricky, Ellen held far greater authority in Hollywood than most individuals ever understood. More connections, more leverage, more dominance. And he suggests there is a much murkier side to her story than the public was ever permitted to witness.
When I say everything, I mean people. I honestly, everything about people annoy me.
People annoy you.
Oh, they're the worst. They are the worst.
People are the worst.
They're absolutely the worst.
But what happens if
this will be better without...
At that point, numerous people dismissed this statement as humor. But now, with the newest allegations about Ellen spreading across the internet, people have begun revisiting what Ricky stated. So just how dominant was Ellen DeGeneres? We explored the accusations, conversations, and documented reports to discover what truly occurred. And the further the story develops, the more astonishing it becomes. Ricky discussed how Ellen's identity was built on being pleasant, but she never appeared genuinely warm to begin with. According to him, the sweetness felt manufactured. This was something even Joe Rogan and Tom Dillon would find themselves agreeing with Ricky on.
Saying that someone who seems so nice is not nice at all.
She doesn't seem nice, but that people have a very poor judge of character. She doesn't seem nice. It seems forced. People that are like that all the time, she doesn't seem nice. It's very forced. And whatever, you're allowed to be a bitch, right? You're allowed to be a bitch. You're allowed to be nasty to people. You're accomplished. You're a comedian. You did the whole thing. What you're not allowed to do is have a Guantanamo Bay situation in the backstage of your show where everybody's walking around afraid for their life, and it's like Abu Ghraib where they're hooked up to wires and they
Dogs
have like
around them.
Yeah, she's got dogs and hoods. If an intern's late, they have a hood on. I don't support that. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Her entire identity revolved around one saying: be kind. She repeated it endlessly, pushing viewers to handle everyone with warmth and consideration. But according to former crew members and individuals who claim to know her personally, the woman behind the lens was not always the same person audiences witnessed on their screens.
As well.
Yeah, I did the first 2 years on that show.
And she was
She was rough. She was the C word. Yeah.
Was she just short with you? I mean, what was exactly
It was like
happening?
if you didn't pitch in her wheelhouse, then she looked at you like you had just stabbed her puppy. And then there was this process of pushing people out of the circle. And, you know, you want to be in the circle because there's a lot of fear going on.
Yeah.
And you're in or out. So there's a lot of, like, it didn't really bother me that much because I'd written on a lot of shows before and I kind of knew what it was like to have tough bosses.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote for Bill Maher.
Sure.
And so, like, I was just, like, tough enough. But then there was these first-time writers who were, they used to cry. There was a lot of crying in the hallways.
Many individuals alongside Ricky Gervais have verified that people who genuinely knew Ellen understood just how challenging she could reportedly be.
So we will have a hotline number later for you if you have been sexually assaulted at the Ellen DeGeneres program, which everyone that has ever worked there has apparently been goosed in the dressing room at the Ellen DeGeneres. What is going on at Ellen? She's out there dancing, and in the back, it's a free-for-all, apparently. It's the Marquis de Sade is running around the dressing room at Ellen, terrifying the employees. I thought she was just a bitch. That's what I thought. I know people that know her, but apparently it's not that. There's sex deviants running around, and they're making people feel uncomfortable. They're sick. Get up how many people have been sexually assaulted, Ellen. I won't stand for it. I won't stand for this anymore. Do I like the show more now? That's the question. Do I like it more now that I know that Ellen DeGeneres has been running a room in the back of her fun, positive show?
But to grasp how she reached that level of dominance, you have to travel back to where everything began. Ellen's journey to stardom was not simple. At 23 years old, she still had no solid path in life. She painted walls, worked factory positions, served drinks, and even sold vacuum machines. Stand-up comedy was not even on her radar. Her companions persuaded her to perform at a charitable gathering, and almost by chance, she discovered she possessed a gift for making audiences laugh. Interestingly, she has admitted she was not deeply enthusiastic about comedy itself, but her relaxed approach turned out to be precisely what viewers desired. Throughout the 1980s, Ellen traveled the nation performing stand-up. In 1982, she captured Showtime's Funniest Person in America title, placing her on Hollywood's map. Shortly after, she began appearing on major late-night programs, a significant milestone for any comedian attempting to break into the spotlight.
Just remember an appointment I have to get to, so I gotta go. How about that? Got who? Gotta go? Cute? Stupid. All righty. It was good talking to you, too. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. That's very clever and very fresh and
Well, that's wonderful hearing that from you.
No, I mean it. It's good material.
Thank you.
How long you been doing this?
4 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you work in the comedy clubs and like the improv and
Oh, a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
The road is tough.
I know it's got to be. And it's always tougher for a woman to do comedy.
I say that and men think I'm being chauvinistic.
No, it's not at all because they'll accept a certain amount they'll accept a little more aggression in men for some reason.
Exactly. I think men can get away with a lot more.
Yeah.
And which is understandable, I think.
Yeah. But that's very good stuff.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I wish you would. Will you come back with us soon?
I would love to.
Okay, you got an open invitation.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Al. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Everything climbed to another height in 1994 when ABC handed her own series, Ellen. She portrayed a quirky bookstore owner, and the show rapidly became a triumph. But television history shifted permanently in 1997. In what became recognized as the Puppy episode, Ellen's character openly came out as gay. It was a revolutionary moment. After coming out publicly, Ellen's career slowed down considerably. She wound up accepting smaller acting parts in movies that struggled to leave any impression. At the same moment, her then partner, an actress, also witnessed her career weaken during their relationship. Years afterward, she spoke openly about the hardships they endured together.
I did too, except I couldn't see the end of it because they ushered Ellen and me out of the premiere before it ended, put us in a car and said, well, we don't want you back here. We will not be accepting pictures of you and Ellen. And then I was fired. I was told before I went to the premiere with Ellen that I would be fired. And I was...
Are we talking about 90...
now you're going to put years on... yes.
Early, there was 2 volcanoes. Dante's Peak,
yeah, but they came out the same week.
Right.
Ours won, by the way, and then they blamed me for its failure for taking a woman. I was like, but we were #1 in the box office. The confusion of how I was fired and the fact that nobody has ever acknowledged it is just shows, in a way, it shows how much further we've come. Because if that would have happened today, obviously, it wouldn't happen today, and I feel glad that I'm a part of that. But yes, I met Ellen, just to give you a bit of a timeline, because it's kind of interesting. I think people don't understand how quickly this all happened for me. On Sunday night, I met Ellen at the on Sunday, I met her at the Vanity Fair party for the Oscars. On Tuesday night, she was coming out on her show. I didn't even know who she was. This is part of the naivete that led my life to such destruction or celebration, however you choose to look at it. I fell in love with the truth of what that incredible human being was doing. Then I had to be in a relationship with her, so that was a little difficult. So I asked her to go. And then on Wednesday, which was the volcano, I asked her to come and meet me for lunch at the Four Seasons, and I was greeted by 5 suits. Ellen was sitting in a chair, and I said, as far as I remember, I didn't invite anybody else to lunch today. And they said, we know that you have you want to take Ellen to the premiere, and we're here to tell you that you will be fired from your $10 million picture deal if you do it. And then Ellen looked at me. I was sitting on the armchair because she lit a Four Seasons chair, and she said, "Do what they say. You don't know what you're up against. We've only known each other for a couple of days." And I said, "I do know what I'm up against. I'm up against sitting in a room after you've just come out on national television to preserve the right of anybody to be able to love who they want to love. And now you're sitting in the soup of the demise of a culture that does not pay attention to that truth. I will take you to the premiere, and whatever those consequences are, my dear, I will face."
She said she attempted to simplify life by departing Hollywood, relocating to Ohio, cultivating gardens, writing, directing, and building a more peaceful existence. But she claimed nothing ever appeared to fulfill
one Ellen controversy that isn't really a huge controversy, but has always irritated me. And I think it's the perfect way for us to close out this deep dive. During the pandemic, when there was a lot of uncertainty when it came to especially talk show television that usually had live audiences, Ellen made the decision to not stand by her staff, her writers, her employees, and she decided to kind of leave them high and dry without any kind of job, any plan, any severance, health insurance, nothing. And she hired a non-union company to film and produce the Ellen DeGeneres show from her home so she could continue to do the show while quarantined. The pandemic was already a scary enough time with so many people having housing insecurity, job insecurity, food insecurity, and to just drop your entire team of people who have kept your show running for so long is unprofessional and unethical at best, especially when you are a multimillionaire who could do a little something to ensure that your staff members will be okay until their next paycheck. Ellen's staff scrambled to find themselves work and new jobs, while Ellen sat comfortably in her home with her new production company, doing The Ellen Show. While Ellen was in quarantine and doing The Ellen Show from her home, just keep in mind, we were all in quarantine during that time. We all remember what it was like, except for our first-line workers. We love you. We appreciate you. But Ellen describes having to socially distance and stay home as similar to going to jail. Keep it in mind that at this time, Ellen was quarantined in her $15 million mansion with her wife, and that's just one of her mansions. Ellen has bought and sold over 50 properties in Los Angeles, and at one given time will own tens of millions of dollars in real estate. So really, if she wanted to, she could just go to a different one of her houses if she was feeling, so trapped and in jail. If she was feeling, like the walls were caving in her $15 million mansion. This did not hit for a lot of people, as a lot of people couldn't even pay their rent during the pandemic, okay? People were losing their jobs left and right. And it's just a very privileged take, especially with the fact that jails and prisons had some of the highest numbers of lives lost due to the virus because of the close quarters they were living in. With all that being said, I absolutely do not think that she is the kind, generous, loving person who she portrays on TV screen. I just don't think that she's that person. Do I think it's very telling of her character and her ethics and her integrity that she looks at figures such as Woody Allen as inspiration? Absolutely. That is nasty and disgusting. Ultimately, Ellen believed she had the privilege and the authority to treat people however she wanted, to treat people like garbage with absolutely no kinds of consequences.
And Ricky believes her authority stretched well past television. He claims Ellen maintained connections with some of the industry's most powerful figures, people he says shielded her, stood beside her, and helped maintain the image she had spent years constructing. He has also suggested that Ellen's link with Jeffrey Epstein's social network went beyond simply moving in the same celebrity surroundings. If Ricky is to be trusted, what we assumed were simply rumors were reality for many people, Ricky included. According to Ricky, she understood more than the public recognized, and like many other dominant figures, used her leverage to guard herself. Even Ellen's former girlfriend revealed that Ellen was ultimately driven by power and money, and that she would not stop at anything to obtain it from others. So why did almost nobody openly challenge Ellen for years? Ricky's response is straightforward. Power to shape careers, power to mold reputations, and he claims power that discouraged individuals from speaking up. Ellen has always possessed the ability to silence people.
That there was such a conscious, deliberate erasing of what it was that I was talking about is what we have to look at. Not what was done wrong, but why we were not able to talk about it then. Why were we not able to talk about love? Has it taken us this long to be able to do it? So we're moving into a next step, hopefully. And hopefully I have some more intelligence, I know I do, around it because I've studied it to be able to communicate a little bit better about what happened 20 years ago and the fact that it's taken us 20 years to be able to be at a point where we can listen to the truth again.
And Ellen's fine. She can sit on her pile of money.
I hope you like your money because that's why I broke up with you. Do you like sitting on your piles of cash? Because guess what? It gets you exactly where you are. And by the way, baby, and it's what you wanted then, and I hope you're liking it now. Cheers.
You broke up with her because she had a lot of money, or you broke up with her because...
I broke up with her because her goal was to have a lot of money, and mine was to find love, and hers was I want 60 billion. Good luck. Our forks are never going to meet. The further we stay on with this, the further we will be apart.
Okay. She didn't live in that loving kindness,
No,
did
she didn't. But you and I don't talk about...
she wasn't a dick.
Revenge a lot,
No, we don't. There's one thing that I remember. There is one little nugget that I do have a sense of wanting a little bit of, I guess the only word is revenge. I feel that you were so wronged. And now to know that you were continuing to be wronged, it fires me up a little bit. And especially, look, when you look at somebody like Ellen, who literally is sitting on a pile of $60 billion and then
could feed countries.
Right. And then
but you got a Porsche.
I mean, you're not her.
According to Ricky Gervais, the reason Ellen remained untouchable for so long was that Hollywood's structure defended her. It defended her by attacking him when he attempted to speak out against her. He argues that the same structure has protected many powerful figures over the years by discouraging opposition, reducing accusations, and turning away when influential people were involved. But Ricky believes that protection is starting to fade as more people investigate what Ellen was truly doing behind the curtain.
Okay, Ellen's longtime former DJ Tony, who was her DJ before he was replaced with Twitch, also shared the sentiment that the environment at the Ellen DeGeneres show was a toxic work environment, which is very telling because if you go back and watch the Ellen DeGeneres show, Tony always had a smile on his face. He was always as happy as can be, never upset to be the butt of the joke. He just seemed like a very pleasant individual. Many have also come to the defense of Taylor Swift, who had a very uncomfortable interaction with Ellen when she went on her show. In one particularly awkward instance, Ellen was playing a game with Taylor in which Taylor was supposed to identify all of the men whom she had dated or had relations with. During the game, Taylor Swift was visibly uncomfortable, on the verge of tears, asking Ellen to stop. And while I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan, I think it's very easy to offer one another decent human respect. And if she was in a situation that she was clearly uncomfortable, Ellen had the power to change that, and she chose not to. And Taylor Swift is most certainly not the only person who fell victim of Ellen doing this. This was kind of her MO. She wants to make her guests feel uncomfortable. She wants to kind of harbor an energy that makes her guests feel like they're being put on the spot. Celebrity or not, media trained or not, there's just certain things you can't prepare for. And there are certain things that happen on that show that just genuinely did not need to happen. Ellen would later go on to address the people who were calling her out for creating a toxic work environment and for being overall problematic with the way she interacts with her guests. But at the time, Ellen stated that she didn't really understand what the issue was, and she believed that the entire situation was very orchestrated and largely created by social media bots. I could literally go on and on about the awkward and the controversial moments that played out on screen of the Ellen show, but I want to go on and talk about some of the strange connections and friendships that Ellen DeGeneres has off screen. One of Ellen's many friends is former President George W. Bush. Ellen and this former president have even gone to NFL games together. They seem very chummy. Despite the fact that while he was in office, George W. Bush fought very hard against gay rights and the right to marriage, and he shamelessly facilitated mass unalivings in the Middle East while he was president, but that doesn't seem to bother Ellen. They are buddies. Pretty much any controversial celebrity you can think of is probably buddies with Ellen. Now, there's two things that I want to touch on because I know that you guys will eat me up if I don't. And those two things are the passing of Twitch and the passing of Ellen's ex-girlfriend, Anne. So very briefly, in a nutshell, Twitch was the DJ who replaced DJ Tony on The Ellen Show, and he was also a So You Think You Can Dance alumni. In December of 2022, Twitch was found unalive in a hotel room not far from his residence. It was revealed that Twitch took his own life due to a self-inflicted wound to the head. When Twitch's mother found out that her son had passed away, she was immediately suspicious and believed that someone had harmed him.
That leaves several questions still circulating. What, if anything, did Ellen know about Jeffrey Epstein's circle? There are certainly some disturbing accusations surrounding her. One household in particular claims that Ellen even attempted to take their children away.
Yes, it's one of those tearjerker shows. And so I just, because Ellen did two shows. She did one show where she kind of surprised them virtually with luggage, and they didn't know where they were going. And then she flew up into Los Angeles, and they just recently did an update on November 11th with a life-changing gift that she gave the family, okay? And she thanked your brother-in-law, Jerwayne, for his service, because he is a firefighter, and pretty much she thanked your sister, Shawanda, for, you know, I guess being of service to 5 children who were being placed in foster care and who were homeless. And she gifted them a brand new Hyundai Palisade and $50,000 from Hyundai, the actual corporation who makes the cars. And they actually sponsored the show. So they chose your sister, your brother-in-law, and thanked them for adopting. Did they adopt? Let me make that clear, because there's a difference between becoming a foster parent and adopting.
Well, they went through the process.
Okay.
Yeah, they went through the process.
And like when you do your introduction, we'll get into how like these things transpire in the state of Alabama, so we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And so, yes, I guess Shawanda and Jerwayne are adopting or in the process of adopting and becoming more foster parents in their community. So I guess they're in the process of adopting your 5 children. And so that is a big thing to do, to take in 5 children. But in your defense, this is all fake.
Well, they have went through processes, but
okay,
how kids get in this system is.
While the evidence connecting Ellen to Epstein remains indirect, and she may never acknowledge anything herself, many have speculated that we might actually witness her exposed in the new Epstein documents that surfaced today.
Epstein's secret emails are set to be unredacted and released today. One of your top DC Daily headlines for July 2. Epstein files. We're set to see another batch of unredacted files today, including 8 secret emails, both to and from Epstein, about a reported torture video. Well, President Trump's acting attorney general was told by a federal judge last month that the unredacted files must be released by today or submit a reason for cause showing why he can't.
Ricky's stance has not shifted. He believes that no matter how carefully someone's image is maintained, the truth ultimately catches up. It may require years or even decades, but eventually, he says, the cover fades and the public discovers what was occurring behind it. Could that moment be arriving now? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and keep following FameX for more updates.